Frooglesim videos are powered by Jetline Systems.
Hello YouTube, this is Frugal, and this is the Frooglesim news for today, Tuesday, May the 14th. First up, the DCS I-16. The latest aircraft to get released for DCS World is Octopus G's I-16. In case you've never heard of it, and very few people will have, it's a Soviet single-engine monoplane from the 1930s. It was actually a between-war fighter. It was actually also one of the world's first fighters with retractable landing gear. The DCS I-16 features accurate animations inside and out, a 6 degrees of freedom cockpit, as well as realistic electrical systems, fuel flow, engine simulation and lighting, as well as authentic liveries and an advanced flight model. The DCS I-16 from Octopus G is available right now for $39.99, not yet available, however, for those of you using DCS World on Steam. Now, in other DCS news, but perhaps less happy, one of the DCS developers has been held pending trial. Now, before we get into this, I know there's a lot of talk of fake news out there. I don't believe there is such a thing as fake news, but there is biased news. So I'm going to get this right out of the way straight away. I am pretty biased on this one. A DCS developer has been accused of smuggling classified information. Now, the story goes that he was bidding on eBay for F-16C manuals, as well as maintenance manuals for other aircraft, including the A-10. Of course, we already have the A-10 in DCS World, and of course, Ego Dynamics are working on the F-16. Now, this guy could not apparently receive the manuals because he's in Russia, so a friendly chap on the forums bought them for him. Now, he was actually charged in 2016, but the charge was sealed and held until he traveled to Georgia, which has an extradition treaty with the US, and he was nabbed at that point. He can't be released on bond. The authorities consider him a flight risk since he's Russian. Now, he also got involved chatting to an undercover agent on the Ego Dynamic forums who expressed an interest in F-35 and F-22 manuals. Now, obviously, those are current frontline fighters here in the US, but he did say they were for personal interest. Ego Dynamics have not made a statement themselves at the time that I made these show notes. Now, this guy's trial is set for later this year, and this is where that whole reporting bias thing comes in. I've seen some reports online, not necessarily from flight sim outlets, being very, very down on this whole case, and he should get everything that's coming to him, yada, 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 yada. I am not of that opinion. Obviously, the guy is a developer of Ego Dynamics. Obviously, Ego Dynamics are developing an F-16. Obviously, the F-16C is an older block of the F-16 and is somewhat obsolete now. Sure, he probably shouldn't have been asking people for F-35 and F-22 manuals, but I don't really believe there was any ill intent there. It's just a flight sim nerd getting all excited about cool aircraft. So my best wishes to the Ego Dynamics guys, both in the US and overseas. I do hope this gets cleared up rapidly, and I hope the poor guy is allowed to go home very soon. All right, happier news now on the release of the AT Simulations An2. The latest release from AT Simulations and developed by Sibwings is the An2, which is the largest single-engine biplane ever made. It also had one of the longest ever production runs of any aircraft in the world. AT Simulations An2 includes wheels and floats versions. It features incredible levels of detail inside and out, smooth gauges, sounds recorded from the real deal, advanced cockpit lighting systems, as well as freezing and rain effects on the windows courtesy of A2A. It also simulates engine overheat and engine fires. The AT Simulations An2 has an accurate flight model that was developed in collaboration with real An2 pilots. Now, I've been hearing great things about this aircraft from other people, and that the level of detail in this is absolutely outstanding, so it might be worth checking out. It is available right now for all versions of FSX and Prepared, and the price is $24.95, which is very reasonable indeed. More information for you at the atsimulations.com link in the show notes below. Next up, Orbx Australia version 2. Orbx have previewed Australia version 2, which is a massive redesign of their existing Orbx Australia product. It covers the entire Australian continent, 8 million square miles to be precise, features 700 upgraded airports, improved suburbs including road systems, rail networks and parks, HD landmarks, improved coastlines and water bodies, multiple new land class types, more than 50 large-scale points of interest. Now, when I say large-scale, I mean large-scale, like the Great Barrier Reef, and has airports optimized for AI traffic. Orbx Australia version 2 will work great with all current Australian HD airports and cityscapes. There is no release date just yet, but Orbx have said the price is going to be around $40, and customers who already have version 1 will get a 40% discount. You can find out more information on the Orbx Australia version 2 previews and announcement at the orbxsystems.com forum link in the show notes below. Our final news story this week is over to explain in the release of the Colimata Concorde. Kalimata's Concord has entered early access. And of course, those of you that buy the early access get the finished product when it's done as well. I covered this in preview last week, but now we have a lot more detail, of course, because you can go buy it. It has been 2 years in development and features highly detailed cockpit with all stations modeled. 4K textures are used throughout. Inside the cockpit, you have more than 700 working custom lights, accurate animations inside and outside, including doors, ramps, engine cowls, as well as primary and secondary nozzles, a realistic flight model, custom engine modeling and custom vortex lift modeling, F-mod sounds, and a custom GUI as well, which includes a virtual flight engineer. Kalimata's Concorde Early Access is available right now for $49.95 for X-Plane 11. I understand that's an intro price and it's going to be rising to $59.69 later this year. For more information, check out the xplane.org store link in the show notes below. That's it for this week's show. As always, if I did miss something, leave me a comment in the comment section below. I'll take a look to see whether I should pay attention for next week's show. Outside of that though, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. My name is Frugal and I will see you all very soon.